You know that feeling when you're just scrolling online, you casually click a buy now button, and then a couple of days later, a box just magically appears on your doorstep. It feels completely effortless, right? Almost like a magic trick. But welcome to this explainer, where we're going to peel back the digital layers to see the massive, incredibly complex machinery that actually pulls off that trick. Because whether you're ordering a new pair of sneakers or managing a global supply chain, there is a fascinating, super high-stakes world running quietly in the background. And today, we're going to break the whole thing down.
Okay, let's dive right in. We're basing our blueprint today directly on collegiate retail management materials, specifically a syllabus from the Renaissance College of Commerce and Management. Now, you might be wondering, why an academic syllabus? Well, because it strips away all that flashy marketing jargon and gives us the actual structured nuts and bolts of how the digital economy operates. It's a fantastic, practical lens for looking at the back end of online shopping. To keep our journey under the hood organized, here is our 6-part roadmap. We'll start with Welcome to E-Retailing, move into the evolution of e-commerce, traditional versus e-commerce, the e-commerce tech infrastructure, business models and applications, and we'll wrap up with the challenges of online retailing.
All right, jumping into Section 1. Welcome to E-Retailing.
It is so easy to use industry buzzwords interchangeably, but precise definitions actually really matter here. E-retailing, or online retailing, is the sale of goods and services over the internet directly to consumers using websites, mobile apps, and online platforms. The absolutely crucial differentiator here is that direct-to-consumer part. Think about it. If a massive steel manufacturer sells 10 tons of raw material to a car factory over the internet, sure, that's digital commerce, but it's not e-retailing. E-retailing is specifically that digital storefront targeting you, the individual buyer.
Now, it's kind of easy to get lost in the jargon of the digital economy, but there are 3 main pillars here, and they each serve a distinct interconnected function. Let's say you're hunting for a custom, high-end laptop online. E-commerce, that's the actual transactional part, the exact moment your credit card clears. E-marketing was that targeted, highly specific digital ad that convinced you to click over to the laptop's webpage in the first place. And e-business, well, that's the absolute broadest category. That's the specialized software talking to the factory floor, making sure the microchips are actually in stock to build your laptop.
Actually, the best way to visualize how these fit together is like one of those Russian nesting dolls. Your clever social media strategy and email campaigns, that's e-marketing. That fits neatly inside your e-commerce operations, which handles the actual shopping carts and checkouts. And all of that sits comfortably inside the massive, overarching ecosystem of e-business, which covers everything from human resources to supply chain management.
Moving right along to Part 2, the evolution of e-commerce.
Now that we know what it is, it's wild to look at how rapidly we arrived at this point in history. I mean, we evolved from purely physical, localized markets to incredibly sophisticated AI-driven platforms in just a couple of decades. The pre-internet era was entirely bound by geography, right? You could only buy what was in your town. Then the 90s hit, bringing pioneers like Amazon and eBay. And remember the skepticism back then? People thought there was no way they were putting their credit card number on the internet. But then the 2000s brought a massive paradigm shift with secure payment gateways like PayPal. Suddenly, people felt safe. Jumping into the 2010s and beyond, we get the absolute explosion of mobile commerce, cloud computing, and AI algorithms that, let's be honest, seem to know what you want to buy before you even do. Which brings us to Section 3, traditional versus e-commerce. Let's see how this shiny new digital model actually stacks up against the traditional brick-and-mortar stores we all grew up with. There is a very real, direct trade-off here between the absolute convenience of digital reach and the tangible satisfaction of physical shopping. E-commerce gives you 24/7 availability and global reach. You can literally buy a rug from Turkey at 3 a.m. from your bed. But traditional commerce still holds massive, unshakable advantages. Ask yourself, despite the ultimate convenience of an online order, why do we still go to the mall? Because e-commerce still cannot replicate the feeling of trying on a leather jacket to see how it fits. It can't give you the immediate satisfaction of carrying a shopping bag out to your car right then and there. And it definitely struggles to match highly personalized face-to-face service.
Okay, Part 4, the e-commerce tech infrastructure.
So how exactly does the digital side pull off that seamless 24/7 global reach? To really get it, we have to look under the hood at the hidden network infrastructure. What we're looking at here is basically the complex source code, the academic blueprint detailing the technological frameworks that quietly, but absolutely essentially, support every single purchase you make.
Let's literally trace a single click to build this tech stack. You find that pair of shoes and hit buy. Instantly, that signal travels across Step 1, the internet, the ultimate communication backbone.
Then the store relies on step 2, the extranet, pinging a private network to check real-time inventory with an external warehouse. All of this data crunching is happening inside step 3, massive data centers packed with servers to ensure the site doesn't crash during a holiday rush. Step 4 is the critical money moment, payment gateways securely taking your encrypted card data straight to the banks. Step 5 brings in cloud computing, giving businesses flexible scalability so they only pay for the computing power they actually need. And finally, sitting like a fortress wall around the entire thing is step 6, cybersecurity. High-level encryption and fraud protection, making absolutely sure this whole digital house of cards doesn't collapse into a massive data breach.
All right, Section 5, Business Models and Applications.
Now that robust, highly secure plumbing is in place, the digital economy supports an absolute alphabet soup of business models. But if we anchor these acronyms to real-world examples, they instantly make sense. We all know B2C, business to consumer. That's your standard late-night Amazon run. But the biggest chunk of the pie is actually B2B, business to business, where massive wholesale suppliers like Alibaba operate. Ever bought a vintage lamp from a neighbor online? Boom, you've participated in a C2C, consumer to consumer market, like eBay. The whole ecosystem even scales up to BGG, for businesses supplying IT systems to government agencies, and G2G, powering interagency government platforms. Every single digital transaction falls into one of these specific buckets.
And it goes way beyond just a basic shopping cart now. This hidden infrastructure supports a staggering variety of applications. It supports everyday consumer apps, like social media platforms where you can buy an outfit directly from a video post. On the corporate side, it powers enterprise resource planning systems, these massive software suites managing complex internal inventories. It drives modern digital marketing via SEO and affiliate networks. And perhaps the most mind-blowing part? Interactive retail. Think about augmented reality, using your phone's camera to place a piece of virtual furniture right in your real living room to see how it looks before you ever click buy. The line between physical and digital is blurring so incredibly fast.
And finally, Section 6, Challenges of Online Retailing.
Of course, operating in this hyper-connected, fast-paced landscape comes with a very unique, high-stakes set of hurdles. E-retailers are constantly battling intense global competition. Just think about the sheer headache of logistics and delivery. It isn't just moving boxes, it is a highly stressful, globally synchronized dance to get an item from a factory floor, through customs, onto a plane, and onto your porch in exactly 48 hours. Then there's the unrelenting battle of cybersecurity against data theft. But above all of that, the absolute linchpin is customer trust. Protecting your personal and financial data is paramount. Because if you don't trust a platform with your credit card, the sale dies right there. And that entire multi-billion-dollar infrastructure we just talked about goes completely unused.
So here's the big question. Considering how rapidly we jump from dial-up internet to cloud computing, how will emerging tech continue to reshape our trust in the digital storefront? The next time you click Buy Now, just remember the massive invisible machinery spinning up across the globe to make it happen. With AI and augmented reality quickly becoming the norm, what will it actually take for platforms to win and keep your trust tomorrow? Thanks for joining me on this Explainer. I hope this look under the hood has given you a whole new appreciation for the infrastructure powering your very next online purchase.